Okay, I've had a couple of comments. People didn't understand my post on my Dutch bucket system. I planted these plants 33 days ago. As you can see, everything's going well. It's tomatoes. I've got tons of tomatoes. Unfortunately, there's so many plants up here, it's hard to see the piping. The question was about the piping. So, real simple, try to show the piping. On each of these buckets here, on the very bottom, I thought I showed this better in my last video, I've got a piece of 1/2" PVC through a grommet, goes inside to another 90. The 90 is about 1/4 inch off the bottom. The pipe goes straight down into this large, I think this is 1.5 inches, 2 inch, it doesn't matter what size, this is a drain line. Every single bucket has a drain coming off, and they all go into a fitting straight into my one main drain line. Every bucket drains right into there. So you have one piece of 1.5 to 2 inch PVC that runs the entire length. It goes all the way from one end to the other, and each of my 10 buckets, you can see, has the 1/2 inch PVC coming out, going straight into, and that's the drain. Everything drains. I've upgraded from a trash can to a 55-gallon drum here. These are clean drums I got from U-Haul, where they wash the trucks. They come in with truck wash in them. They gave them to me for free, and all I did was took out the cap and then bought a adapter to thread right in. I don't know, I'd have to look back at my last video I made last year, but I took the same little aquarium pump. I just cut a hole out, stuck my 1/2 inch PVC. The pump is in the bottom of this 55-gallon drum, and I've got it just to run out of the way. I could have ran it right up here and connected in. What I've got on the top, which you can see in my other video when there's no plants in it, is I've got a piece of 1/2 inch PVC that's running all the way across the top. That's coming out of the pump, that little piece right there, the little small 1/2 inch PVC, and it comes up and it's coming straight up through here. You know, this piece right here is coming out of that pump. I've got a Y on it. It could have been, if I had had a longer piece of PVC, I would have ran it all the way to the far end and came up on the very end. But it doesn't matter. You just gotta have your pipe coming up, and you can see right there I've got little holes. I got 4 holes drilled on an angle in each one. So when the pump kicks on, water sprays out of the hole, it goes into the bucket, and then it comes out of the bucket here and drains back into my drain line and goes back into my 55-gallon drum. If anybody's got any questions, post them up in the comments, and I'll try to respond. If you give me an email address, I'll send you a blueprint. Last year, I lived down here in Florida, so when it got real low humidity, these things were sucking like 20 gallons a day of water. So my bucket ended up floated up out of the ground. So what I did this year is I've got 2 extra 55-gallon drums here, and I just filled this full of water. And so right here where the plug comes out the bottom, I just got a 90 that screws right into the factory threads that were on what they call a bung here. Ran a piece of pipe down to the next one, so the top barrel drains to the bottom barrel. Coming out of the bottom barrel, I've got a valve in case I want to shut it off, and then I ran that underneath my steps right here, and it comes around and it's just a gravity feed straight into here. This bung here, I took it and drilled a hole through it that my 1/2 inch PVC went in, and I found a float valve similar to like a toilet valve, but it's a smaller valve. I'm not going to take the system apart to show it, but if anybody has any questions, post it, and I can post a link. You can find them on eBay for $2 or $3. And I put a float valve on the bottom of this, so if my water level inside of my reservoir here gets low, I got 55 gallons, once it gets low, that float valve opens, and then I have a gravity drain off the other 2 barrels, fills up my reservoir here, and so I can see it gives me 100 gallons in my reservoir. Hope this helps some of the comments. Here, I'm going to pause this. All right, here's a just a basic diagram. You got your water tank right here. This is what's full of all your water. There's a little pump. Got a little pump off of eBay. Just ran a piece of the 1/2-inch pipe, and you can run it up here anyway, and then it comes across, and then I drilled the holes so that it sprays water into my buckets. And then on the bottom of the bucket here, I've just got a drain line that comes into the one main drain line, and then the water just gravity feeds back down into the reservoir. So it's a continuous cycle. I ran for 30 days without using 5 gallons of water. This thing recycles over. You've seen by the looks of the plants. Within 30 days, I've got probably 100 tomatoes on my bushes. I should have put my buckets a little bit further apart. I've only got a couple inches of spacing in between them. I probably should have put a foot or 2 in between each one, but I was wanting to get as many as I could in as small a space as I could. Hope that helps. If anybody has any questions, I'll put it up here. OTTOBDIVIN autobediving@gmail.com. That's my email address, autobediving@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'll be glad to try to help you out if I can.